morning. Class will start in a couple of minutes. If you're here on the recording, just, drag the little dot until it looks like class really starts. Yeah. Thanks for being here. So this class is movement and meditation, but we're actually going to focus more on relaxing today. So if you have props that you like to use in a long shavasana, that's what we're going to end with instead of meditation. We're actually going to lay down and do some deep relaxation. So you can choose what you use for that. I've got a bolster here, a rolled blanket. I actually just really like to lay with the rolled blanket underneath my knees. So you could go just grab whatever props you want to use for a long shavasana. And whatever time of day you do this, it will feel really grounding, right? You'll feel really relaxed afterward, but hopefully it'll help you feel more aware as well. So it's a great thing to do in the morning or in the evening or in the middle of the day. All right. So it's a movement and meditation class today. And we're actually going to focus more not on just a seated meditation, but on relaxing for the second part of class. So if you have props that you like to use in a supported shavasana, you can grab that. I've got a bolster handy here. I prefer like a rolled blanket under my knees when I'm laying on my back. So you get to choose what you would like for that. So you can go ahead and grab those things right now, and I'm going to read to you a little bit before we move. And then our movement will be pretty vigorous, just to kind of get us really warmed and aware of our whole bodies, and then we'll lay down and feel it all. So we've been talking about the Vijnana Maya Kosha, our wisdom body, our intuitive body, and it's also been translated as the personality body. And so I just have been turning and returning to the wisdom of the Enneagram as I've been thinking about what to teach in classes this month. And, our practice here really is just getting into our bodies. But sometimes that can seem superficial, just to work with our physical body. But, right, our bodies are really our tool of interaction with the world. And the more aware we are of every part of our body, the more freedom we have to act, right? This is our tool of action. And our work in getting down to our wisdom intuitive layer is to kind of let go of any coverings or pretenses. And so that's why we're going to work on relaxing today. And I just want to read you a few paragraphs from this book. And as I was going through, I was trying to find just a couple of sentences to read, but that's not how it's going to work. I'm just going to read you several paragraphs because I couldn't weed it all out. And this is from The Wisdom of the Enneagram by Richard Riso and Russ Hudson. But they say the body is extremely important for inner work because it is a reliable reality check in ways that our minds and emotions cannot be. This is because, as we mentioned earlier, the body is always here in the present moment. Our minds or feelings can be any place, imagining the future, dwelling on the past, or ruminating on a fantasy, but our body is always here and now. It cannot be anywhere else. Therefore, if we are aware of the sensations of our bodies, it is a solid piece of evidence that we are present. Perhaps the most important technique for getting in touch with the body and its energies is learning how to relax fully so that we can make deeper contact with each moment. Relaxation is not just something we do in yoga class or during meditation. It is a quality that we can bring to anything that we do. We can do anything in our lives from a place of centeredness and relaxation, or from a state of being frantic and having inner tension. Basically, conscious relaxation is a matter of learning how to come back to the here and now again and again, opening up to a deeper and deeper impression of reality. And this next sentence really stood out to me. They said, many of us confuse numbness with relaxation, when in fact they are polar opposites, right? How often do we just want to relax and so we just check out, right? And then we really just get disconnected from our bodies. We may think that if we do not feel any soreness or tension, we must be relaxed. However, when our muscular tension is severe and long-standing, our body deals with it by numbing the muscles in question. In most of us, our tensions are so long-standing that much of our body has become numb, and we no longer feel our body. We are literally walking around in painful knots of all kinds, but our numbness covers over the discomfort they cause. But as long as we are not feeling these tensions, they are not going to be released, and they eventually wear down our health and vitality. Paradoxically, the more relaxed we become, the more we will realize how tense our bodies actually are. This can be confusing because our first experiences of relaxation will cause us to feel more uncomfortable, right? Just because it's unfamiliar, and that letting go can often feel a little scary, right? Our first reaction will therefore be to want to become numb again, but our liberation requires that we stay present to whatever we find, including our tensions. When we do so with persistence, we find that our tensions miraculously begin to dissolve, and our personality becomes lighter and more flexible. Seeing how easily we numb out, how do we know if we are truly relaxed? The answer is surprisingly simple. We are relaxed to the degree that we can experience sensations from all parts of our body in the present moment. So just let that sink in. We are relaxed to the degree that we can experience sensations from all parts of our body in the present moment. To the degree that we do not experience the sensations of our body, we are tense and not present. To be relaxed is to feel an uninterrupted flow of sensation through the body from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. Relaxation entails having full awareness of the self and the environment, to be in the river of presence and being. We fully occupy our body. We experience both the front and the back of it and everything in between. But make no mistake, this kind of freedom, relaxation, and flow are the result of many years of consistent practice. So that's why we do the physical practice, because it's our tool. Our body is our tool of awareness and presence. And, you know, though we are not defined by what our body can do and what it looks like, right? It is an integral part of who we are. And being able to inhabit and feel it and have agency over it really does lead to more freedom and flexibility in all areas of our lives. So that's what we're going to work with today. So we'll just wake everything up by moving so that we can feel it all. And then we'll lay down and relax deeply and practice completely letting go with awareness versus numbing out. So go ahead, and we're going to start this movement part standing. Let me move my meditation cushion out of the camera. Got my timer. So just come up to the top of your mat and we'll just stand. Let me adjust this a little bit and just start to feel your feet in the ground. And connect with your breath. And you can just rock forward and back. Lift your heels, lift the balls of your feet. Just back and forth. And you can have your eyes open or closed, but really the whole goal of this is just to be able to feel our whole bodies and just wake everything up. So feel your feet on the floor, feel the sensation of the texture of your mat or the carpet or whatever it is that you're standing on. See if you can wiggle your toes as you move. And then you can start to let your knees kind of bend as you rock. And then maybe even let your pelvis get into it with some circles. And bending, just letting it be pretty fluid. Maybe switch directions. So we're rocking on our feet, just getting into your legs with some really intuitive, fluid movement. And then let your torso and your head come in. You can find some neck circles as you find your hip circles. And you can let your arms move too, maybe side to side, kind of like some lasso swimming. And let yourself just move intuitively. Don't worry what it looks like or doing anything right. You might want to add some forward bends with your circles. You can still play with moving on your feet, bending in your knees. Just try to get your whole body into the movement. Just really fluidly in a way that you're just kind of friendly, in a friendly way, waking everything up. And then let's just find some big forward bend circles. If you haven't gone there already, just kind of sweeping through one side and then sweeping around and down through the other side. Let's just do one more there. And we'll come to standing and find some more targeted movement. So bring your hands to the back of your head. You can just interlace your hands, let your elbows go wide. And we'll find some circles. Let me face you. So you're just gonna side bend to the right. And then let that left elbow come forward until you circle forward. All the way, lift that right elbow, side bend to your left, and then come back up to center. And then switch sides. So see if you can just come straight to the side. And then round forward. And lift that left elbow up. And come upright. Go at your own pace. Just go back and forth there one more time, each direction. And then release your hands, and we'll just find some really easy side bends. So we'll kind of go over to the right. Just lead with your head. Let your head come, and then really curve. Just let that right arm slide down your leg. And then come on up. Other side. And maybe go a little bit further. This time you can even bend your knees a little bit as you go down on the right side. Maybe go just below your knee with your hand. Maybe bend into your knees, really pushing that left hip away from you. And just feel that whole side body stretch. Go to the other side. And then reach your arms high and exhale. Bring your hands down and start with your chin. Just roll yourself down to a forward fold, one vertebrae at a time. So let your upper back round, mid back, lower back. You can soften your knees as much as you need to. And just come down to a standing forward fold. Shake your head no, nod your head yes. And then take a big step back with your left foot. Find a low lunge here and move through your pelvis. Just back and forth. And then maybe some circles. And just check in with how your hips feel. And then we'll set ourselves up for a table. So you can have your hands outside of that right foot or inside that right foot. But we're going to lift our right leg out to the side and find some big hip circles. So just, you can have your knee bent and then lift back and then come into your chest. And then just switch directions. Back out to the side. Into where you started. Into your chest. Out to the side. And do that one more time. And then we're going to take that straight leg straight out to the side. So your foot is in line with your knee. There. And then inhale your right arm up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, just thread it underneath your left rib cage. And find a twist. And just do that with your breath a few times. Just kind of fluid with that right leg out to the right. Inhale and reach up. And then exhale that right hand to the floor. And just find a couple of rounds of cat and cow here with your leg out to the side. Try to keep your pelvis as level as possible. So lifting those sitting bones, relaxing your belly. And then exhaling and rounding. And then push your hips back toward that left heel. And drop your chest and flex through your wrists. So let your palms come up off the floor, point your fingers up toward the ceiling. And we'll rock forward and back here. Rock back onto your hands, lift your palms. Palms down, and you can keep those back toes tucked or untucked. hip to heel, lift your fingers. Just move with your breath there. Cords are all doing weird things. Make friends with your hip, your inner thigh, and your wrists. Next time you come up to your table, just walk your hands toward that left knee, come upright, and find a side bend. Right hand comes to that right leg, left arm up and over. And ground through that left knee. You can engage through that left glute. Find your side bend. And then cartwheel that left hand down. And come to your fingertips so that you're pretty buoyant here. Reach to your right arm up. And then lift and lower that right leg. And see if you can lead with your heel. So you're working that outer glute. Do one more time there. And then ground your foot. Take that right arm alongside your ear. Really let yourself find a big curve here. Maybe even let your fingers drop toward the floor. And then reach up again. Lift that right leg, bend your knee, and then externally rotate that hip and see if you can bring it flat to the floor. And then use that right arm to bring yourself up. Bring your right hand inside that right knee. Find a couple of bends into that knee and ankle here. And then we'll find kind of a side angle pose variation. That left knee down, you can bring your right hand inside that right ankle or right forearm on right thigh. And find that big side bend here. One more breath in. And then just cartwheel your hands to a table position with your legs still as they are and find a couple rounds of cat and cow there. And kind of push your right knee away from you. And find that movement in your pelvis. And then just bring that right knee to your table. Push back into a child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your knees, tuck your toes, make your way to a standing forward fold. Just notice the difference from one side to the other. One vertebrae at a time, roll yourself up to standing. Make your way up to the top of your mat. And we'll just do that same thing on the other side. Tuck your chin. Let yourself just round down. With a really conscious awareness of each of the vertebrae of your spine. And then let your pelvis bend. You can let your knees bend. And then come all the way down. And this time we'll take our right foot back into that low lunge. And just find some movement here. And circle your hips. Rock them from side to side. And then plant your hands either inside or framing that foot, whatever you think will make it easy to just bring that knee straight out to the side. And find your hip circles here. Knee into your chest, out to the side, heel toward the ceiling. Come float above the floor and then switch directions. Start with your heel out, up, knee out, and around. And just go back and forth. One more time there. And we'll lengthen that left leg straight out to the left. Right hand grounds underneath your right shoulder. Then inhale, left arm up, and then thread it through. And open, and thread it through. And just enjoy that movement through your thoracic spine there. One more inhale and then bring your hand down. Your back toes can be tucked or untucked. You can just kind of decide what you want to happen in the bottom of that foot and ankle. Hip toward your heel, flex through your wrists, fingers point up toward the ceiling. And then rock forward and lift your palms. Back and forth here. And then next time you get to that table, walk your hands towards your knee, come upright, left hand on that left thigh, right arm up and over. Long side bend through that right side. And see if you can find some length even through your left side body. And then come back up, cartwheel those right fingertips to the floor. Reach your left arm up. And then lift and lower that left leg. See if you can kind of feel like you're leading from your heel. I'll get into that glute muscle there. Feel that whole side body contract to lift your leg. Do that one more time. And then lower down and just find a big side stretch from that left heel out through your fingertips. Maybe even reaching closer to the floor. And then reach up. Lift that left leg again, bend your knee, and then externally rotate that knee to plant your heel down in line with that right knee. And come on up. Left hand inside that left thigh. Reach your right arm up. And 3 deep bends into your knee and your ankle. So here we're worried more about this ankle dorsiflexion, your knee flexion, some movement in your hip. And then we'll find our side angle variation. So you can have your forearm to your thigh, or maybe sneak that left hand down inside your left ankle. One more breath here, just twisting that left rib cage up toward the ceiling and then hands to the floor. Like you would be in table, but you still got this arrangement of your legs. Bring some weight into the left pinky edge of your foot. Push that left knee away from you and find some cat and cow movement in your pelvis. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. Actually, just undo your leg first. And then walk your hands back towards your knee and come to a standing kneel. We'll just do a couple of shoulder cars, controlled articular rotations here. So let your left hand just hang down, and you can even bring a fist into that left arm. And then right arm comes in front of you. Lead with your thumb. Reach that thumb up until you can't reach with your thumb anymore. And then you can rotate and reach with your pinky. Find some flexion through your shoulder. Reach back as far as you can and then bring it along your side. Lead with your thumb till you can't lead with your thumb anymore, and then lead with your pinky. Just go back and forth one more time on that side. With a tall spine, trying to uncouple the movement of your shoulder from the movement of your rib cage. Just moving your shoulder. And go ahead and switch sides. So you can have a fist in that right hand and then lead with your thumb through your left arm. Till you can't go any further, then you can find that rotation and reach back. It may be totally different from one side to the other. Think about keeping your rib cage pointing forward. So we're uncoupling that movement of our shoulder and rib cage. Lead with your thumb till you can't anymore, and then lead with your pinky. Awesome. And then reach your arms up and interlace your hands behind your head again. We're going to find those thoracic rotations standing on our knees. So bend over to your right and then curl your upper spine forward. And then open up, right elbow up and come to center. Just one more time, the other way, left elbow down. Let yourself really curl and round in. Open up to the right, left elbow up, come to center, reach your arms high, and then bring your hands to your back pockets. Find some heart opening here, drawing those elbows in, maybe leaning back, and then exhale into a child's pose. Bring your hands alongside your knees. And then inhale, lift your hips, just rock onto the crown of your head. And then exhale, bring your hips to the floor. We'll come all the way up to seated and bring your hands or fists or fingertips behind you. Draw your shoulder blades together and inhale to lift your heart in hips in a baby camel. And then lower down, rock forward into your child's pose, hands alongside your knees. Rock onto the crown of your head. Most of your weight is in your feet and your legs, your shins, I guess I should say. Hips down. Come on up. And then find that baby camel. And flow through this at your own pace. If you feel like it would feel good in your shoulders, in your rabbit pose with your head down, you could clasp hands behind you and open your shoulders, but you can just keep your hands on the floor also. And you can play with the position of your hands every time you get back for your baby camel. Have different positions for your wrists. If you're clasping those hands behind you, see if you can alternate which thumb is on top. And maybe use fists sometimes when you come back. Let's just do 2 more, forward and back. Fingers pointing towards you, fingers pointing away from you. Out to the sides on fists. Just find some variety of the load on your wrists and your shoulders. Last one. Exhale into child's pose. And just pause there, hands by your feet or reaching forward. And feel your belly expand against your thighs. We'll move into standing forward fold from here. So you can bring your hands just forward of your knees, rock a little bit forward so you can tuck your toes. And then bring your heels toward the floor. Bring your legs towards straight. And then one vertebrae at a time will come to standing. I'm going to take some bouncy, springy steps forward with our right foot. So ground into your left foot, lift your right knee, and then just kind of step forward into a little bit of a lunge and then push off of it and spring back. And you can kind of vary where you step. You could cross out to the side. Play with your balance. Eventually we'll end in a high lunge. I just want you to experiment with this springy step a couple of times more. And then step forward and arrange your legs into a high lunge. Lift that back heel and aim yourself toward the short edge of your mat. And reach high, bring your hands behind your head. And find those thoracic circles just one time in each direction. So drop the elbow and it'll play with your balance. But it'll also feel good. Come to center, reach your arms high, and then we'll ground that back heel and open to a warrior 2. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale into a side angle pose, maybe forearm to thigh, or like we did in our kneeling version, have hand to inner ankle, hand to foot. Lengthen from that left heel out through your fingertips. And then go ahead and inhale back up to your warrior two. Reverse your warrior, straighten that front leg. And then we'll reach into triangle pose. So reach back with your hips and your left foot and reach forward with your right arm and your rib cage. Let that hand fall below your knee anywhere. Open your heart and feel strong through your feet. So remember all that awareness we woke up as we were standing at the beginning. See if you can find that there. Freedom through your toes. Let them aid in your balance, but don't grip. And then exhale, just bring your hands down to frame that front foot. Inhale to plank. Exhale, pull the floor to you. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Roll yourself up to standing. And bring that balance onto that right foot. And just take your little springy lunging steps forward and back. So we're just working on that reflexive action in our muscles and our fascia as we spring forward and back. And you can find some variation in the distance and the angle. We'll find our way to a high lunge. So take that big step forward and lift your back heel. Find your high lunge. Reach your arms high. Bring your hands behind your head, and we'll go to the left first and find those thoracic circles. Really play with your balance. Wake up. That equilibrium. Over to the right. And around. And then reach your arms up. Ground the right heel open to your warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm back. Hips open. Inhale to reverse. And then exhale into your side angle pose. Forearm to thigh. Maybe grab your inner ankle or hand to the floor inside that foot. Push into that right heel as you lengthen through your right fingertips. And find some space for your breath. Inhale back up to your warrior two. Reverse, straighten that left leg. And then pour yourself out and down for your triangle pose. Reaching back through that right hip and heel. Reaching forward through the crown of your head. Lengthen your rib cage. Space for your breath. And then exhale. Hands down to frame that front foot. Inhale through your plank. Pull the floor towards you. And then let your hands float. Engage your back body. Then bring your hands down. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll just breathe here to collect ourselves. And then we'll move into a couple forward folds before we lay down. And bring your knees to the floor. Just cross your ankles and let your legs come forward. Let's extend the right leg, bend that left knee for Janu Shirshasana. And then lead with your heart to fold. And just find like some mini movement, like a mini wave with your breath here. And then you might find a place where you can just be still. Breathing in and out of your nose. And then inhale yourself up, and we'll just switch sides. So left leg long, right foot to your inner thigh, lengthening through your heart, and let yourself fold forward, and then just kind of find a mini wave. So you can back out with your inhale and fold a little more on your exhale. And it may not even be visible to someone watching from the outside, but use your breath to help you ease your body and your tissues into this forward fold. And then inhale yourself up. Just take both of your legs long. They can be touching or about sitting bone distance apart. See if you can find your spine long and then lead with your heart. You can bend your knees as much as you need to let this feel like it's lengthening through the back of your legs and friendly to your lower back. And just 2 more long breaths in and out of your nose here. And then inhale your way up. And just find a bend in your knees, and we'll set ourselves up for our long relaxation. So I'll give you a couple of options. Simplest would be to find a rolled blanket or a rolled towel or even like yoga blocks and put them underneath your knees, just kind of at the backs of your thighs, just the top of your knee crease. And then you can lay down there. And it's just a nice little support for your lower back. Another option would be to find a stack of folded blankets, towels, pillows. I've got a yoga block and my bolster and sit, and then the length of my spine, and then bring my sacrum toward the back of that bolster and lay down with some elevation for my upper body. Another option could be to go to your couch and just put your lower legs up on your couch and lay, or legs up the wall. A long time in legs up the wall might make your feet fall asleep, but having your knees bent with your legs on a couch or chair might also be nice. So choose your adventure there and get yourself situated as you lay down. And when you get there, laying on your back however you want to be, just bring your hands together in front of your heart and just rub your hands till your palms get warm. And then take those warm palms and then just place them on your eyes. Close out all the light and just let your eyes be heavy in their sockets and let your brain kind of relax and get heavy. You can use your fingers and your hairline, give yourself a scalp massage, maybe circles in your temples with your thumbs, maybe Just bring your fingers down to your forehead. You can rub the sides of your jaw, push your ears closed. You can pull out on your ears, all along the edges of your ears, and just notice like the awareness that can bring to your whole body. You've got so many nerve endings there in your ears. You can pull down on your earlobes. Maybe knead out the back of your neck. But the purpose of this practice is really to bring some awareness by moving all the parts of our body so that we are able to feel them. So let go of that self-massage and just let your arms go out to the side and a comfortable distance away from your body. And find any wiggles that you need to. You can kind of shake, let your body settle into the floor. Really find some connection of all those places connected to the support underneath you. Let go of that movement. Take a big, deep breath in through your nose. You can let it slowly out your mouth for as long as you possibly can. And do that 2 more times. A big, deep, conscious breath in through your nose. And then let your exhale take as long as you can let it take. Slow, slow, slow exhale. And when you're done with that final slow exhale, and just let the effort of breathing go. Seeing how easily we numb out, how do we know if we are truly relaxed? The answer is surprisingly simple. We are relaxed to the degree that we can experience sensations from all parts of our body in the present moment. Bring your awareness to your head and your face. Let your forehead skin relax. Let your eyes relax in their sockets. Let your scalp feel like it's just draping over your skull. You can swallow. Relax the root of your tongue. And relax your jaw. The tip of your tongue just relaxes right at the back of your top front teeth. You can relax your airway. And think of finding space in your sinuses, the back of your throat. Relax your neck and your throat and find space for your breath to come in and out. And let your shoulder blades relax into the floor underneath you. And your shoulders get heavy. Your collarbones just feel like they drape away from the center of your chest. And feel the whole length of your arms just melt and relax any effort or tension there. Pay some particular attention to your hands. Notice how when they're relaxed, your fingers just gently curve in a really natural, easy way. And feel all the arches of your hands. And notice the aliveness and sensations there in your hands. And bring your awareness to your rib cage as it settles into the floor. Notice if you're holding any tension in your breath, those muscles around your ribs or your shoulders or your neck. And see if with your next breath out, you can just let things melt and soften. And bring your awareness to all the contents of your rib cage, your heart and your lungs, your diaphragm. And see if you can get out of their way of functioning. Just relax any tension so that your heart has freedom to beat as it wants to. Your lungs have freedom to move as they want to. Your diaphragm can move in its full range of motion, just as it wants to. And here, as you're laying, right, your breath will be small because your body knows how to take care of the effort that you're making. So you don't need to be breathing deep and big. Your relaxation will be more facilitated by just letting your breath be soft and easy. Just letting it come in and out of your nose, and it may even be imperceptible. Relax your belly and your lower back. And allow all those organs in your belly some freedom from tension. You don't need to suck anything in, to force anything here. Just let your belly be soft. Notice any sensations that you might have. On the level of your skin, your muscles, your bones, your organs. Bring your awareness to your pelvis and just feel it settle into the ground underneath you. Notice the muscles, those big muscles of your pelvis on your back side. See if you can intentionally relax a little more and a little more. Notice if you're gripping or holding anything. Feel the contents of your pelvis, your intestines, your bowels, your uterus and ovaries, and all of those gems Relax your pelvic floor. Let go of any gripping there. And bring your awareness to your thighs. And the backs of your thighs, your hamstrings, that length and strength there. Feel the bones, your biggest bones in your body, your femur bones. It's just pillars of strength that can be heavy in that cushion of your hamstrings underneath them. Relax your quadriceps, those big muscles in the front of your legs. And notice how those legs connect up through your pelvis to your spine. Just with your awareness, see if you can let go of tension in any of those muscles. Feel the sensation of the fabric on your skin. And feel the aliveness of your body from the inside out. And bring your awareness to your knees, the backs of your knees, the sides of your knees, your kneecaps. All the connective tissues there. Let go of any tension and relax. And feel the length of your lower legs, their ability to move and rotate with your tibia and your fibula. Tendons that allow your ankles to move. Big round muscles in the backs of your calves. You can feel any sensation and aliveness in the lower legs and just relax. Bring your awareness to your ankles, all those little tiny bones suspended in a really intelligent way to allow your feet to absorb the impact of your movement. Bring your awareness to your feet, the architecture of your arches, your fascia and muscles and bones. And just notice any tingling or aliveness there in the soles of your feet. Completely relax. And just notice how awake your whole body feels. As you let go of tension, see if you can just bring your whole body into your awareness. If gripping has entered in to any place, see if you can melt it away with your breath. Just let yourself be aware of all of it, the entirety of your experience, from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head, and out through your fingertips, and everything in between. And feel the exposure and the safety of the front of your body. And notice how your awareness can find areas of tension, and your awareness can let those go. It's a power that you have that you can bring to every minute of your day. It's this time of learning to really let go completely. That's the practice for being present in our relationships and our interactions and our responsibilities. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to end your practice, just start to find a little bit of movement by rocking your head from side to side. You can wiggle fingertips and toes. You can bend both knees and just let your knees rock from side to side, finding a little massage in the back of your pelvis and a twist. And reach your arms overhead and stretch. And then let your knees fall to your favorite side. Just roll over to that side. You can use your upper arm as a pillow. And then make your way up to a comfortable seat. When you get there, just close your eyes, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Right, the tension is our attempt to control things, to not feel things that we don't want to feel, to manipulate things, to go our own way. But at our core, we have everything that we need, and our connection to the divine can be our guide. And we can let all that extraneous effort fall away. And that's the way we find that intuition and wisdom that's just inherent in us, and our uniqueness that is needed by the world. Let's breathe out for one more breath. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste. Have a lovely day, and I hope that you feel, even after we're super relaxed, that you're aware